Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. It is me, Dukect, and what world we are going to be here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, we are in a good mood. I hope you got some people in this very positive mood. I hope you are in a positive mood this evening because there are some good stuff happening, some bad stuff, and some things people are just getting really upset, especially in the world of professional wrestling. And, oh man, some people are mad tonight. They're mad. I can tell you they're upset and they don't know what they're doing. Even though we had some really good stuff that happened this past weekend, because SummerSlam came and there was some good stuff there. And even though there was a bit of a, before that we have NXT Takeover. People seem to like that. You know, I missed the show. I thought it was going to be at 8 o'clock, but oh, wait, it's at 7. Which just, oh, man, that just messed me up a bit. But I did watch the main event. And let me tell you, man, Johnny Gargano's an idiot. And it's amazing how people just, and I made fun of, it's something that WWE has this problem with in NXT. And in the main roster and everywhere else in between, is that they're good guys, they're babyfaces, their protagonists are idiots. They're the dumbest of the dumb. And it just baffles me, ladies and gentlemen. It just baffles me. How this company continues to do this same thing to its to continue to do this to its own wrestlers, to continue to do this to its own talent, and writing them in characters that are just, at the end of the day, that if they're just doing these stupid things, people are not going to root for them. No one's going to root for them. No one's going to care. No one's going to actually sit there and say, you know what, I am not going to root for this character because this guy is so stupid, so dumb, so. Basically, they can't even do it. They just can't even, connect the dots and how this character is portrayed. It just makes you like, man, what's the entire point? What is their, if they're so, it just seems like, why should I root for them? It's like, why should I root for a character that is just so, either they're so stupid, they can't connect with the audience and such, and then they turn heel or whatever. They become they stop becoming naive, become more badass. The crowd's like, yeah, I like that. Same what happened with Bayley over the past. Bayley, who did with Sasha, and we had a redux of that with SummerSlam with Becky. And Becky was beating the crap out of Charlotte Flair, and people were cheering that on. It was the loudest piece of cheer out there, and then it just makes you. And I'm sitting here, it's just so when characters get a spine and they can connect the dots, they're villains. I'm like, no. And even worse is the crowd won't play along. And people are saying, and I know that some people are upset by how, people are I think there's some wrestling fans and some, people in the business and wrestling business and such who are upset at Becky for she has not did a good job convincing the crowd to hate her, which I'm okay, the performer can only do so much. The performer can only do so much if the crowd basically says they're too dang on likable, too much, and the story makes a lot more sense. If the story is crafted to a point to make you more sympathetic, make you more of a, overall good person. And so it's man, this person got screwed in this match and such. Then they're going to lead on. They're not going to basically believe that you are a villain. They just can't. They just don't know. They just don't have, they just don't have that. Anyway, it gets to my point is the characters. How can a character like Becky in this situation can be, what's the word? Hateable when it's all, the entire situation to what happened to Becky, it's like, it's not her fault. It's legitimately not her fault. How do you get her character to be so, hateable when the character is like, you know what? I'm getting screwed. And when you're getting screwed, what do you do? What do you do if you get screwed? The people are like, hey, this character getting screwed, so why should I, it's justify, I know, I understand, justify a heel turn, but the person's becoming really nasty. And who knows, maybe a couple weeks, the crowd will eventually turn on Becky, and they will turn. But I don't see it because Becky is so likable, so interesting, so engaging, to a point that you just sit there and you're like, wow, I just don't, people just are not going to people are not going to just, not just root against her, they just are not going to, the people are not just going to be your boo against her and cheer Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair has won the championship. She's a 7-time women's champion. How is she Victor? How is she going to be rootable? And I understand what they're like. Hey, it's the role that Becky's plays. She's a villain. I get that, but if the people in this medium in pro wrestling, if the crowd doesn't see Becky as a villain, the crowd cheers her on, and the crowd continues to cheer her on, and they keep booing Charlotte Flair. Which, by the way, Charlotte Flair was getting cheers before the match and during the match. They like her. Smarts would like her, but they see her as like, well, she's a villain and stuff like that because she's pushing to this role. Personally, I would have just had Becky win the match, then have Charlotte, win later on or something. Personally, have Charlotte still there. Charlotte can compete against her or whatever. And then, if they want, because the rumors has it that they want Ronda and Charlotte to have a match at WrestleMania, which is okay for the both women's championships and such. I get that. You want to have that? That's awesome. But you can still have that match, but you don't have to you don't have to hurt your own people. You don't have to hurt Becky let you do so to get into this position. You understand what I'm saying? Is that you cannot hurt the position of your own talent, your own stars and such like that. I mean, that's my thing. You should not be hurting your own stars like that. You should not be hurting your own stars, and then eventually it just makes them so unlikable, and you force them to basically like saying, well, I don't want to, if you're going to force me to cheer or boo for this character, guess what? They're going to pack up and leave. And sadly, here's the crazy thing. When I saw a video, all this, I still see tarp around the arenas. So WWE, you can't continue to do this stuff where you're still tarping off your arenas like that, man. I do see some of that tarp there and everything else. So I don't know what are you doing to basically pissing off your fan base like this, and you continually piss off your fan base, and making babyface like that. And don't get me started on Braun, Braun Strowman, who bullied Kevin Owens. But then again, Kevin Owens is a duplicitous, asshole, and probably did have it coming. But the way it was handled, some would say that he's Braun Strowman's the bully and everything. Fine, whatever. But yeah, people still cheered him and liked him. And then I don't know what they're gonna do with him. He's the monster in the bank, but he continues to fail at this stuff. Maybe it's bringing up to his underdog quality, but I just don't know. I don't know. I just don't know what's happening with him. It's just confusing. But overall though, I think it's very interesting what they're doing with him. With the Shield coming back and helping out their stuff here, which is amazing. I like that part too. I do, but what are they going to do is it just cover for Roman not to be booed? Are they turn the Shield heel, which makes no sense? But that's which will be by the time Roman. But it'd be funny if they did turn Roman heel at this. Like I always say, if they did turn him heel, I would not be surprised that he will start getting cheered Not because he's the Shield and everything. If he turned heel, it seems like more often than not, when your person does turn heel, the fans do cheer. Hell, they still cheering The Miz. I'm like, I just think it just like to play this type of game and everything. They don't, the only real hateable person I've seen is Ciampa. That's an NXT. And at this point, this whole feud, there's never, I don't see anyone being this hateable heels anymore. In fact, I see it in Lucha Underground, I see all this other stuff. People who are supposed to be villains get cheered, and even, they get dueling chants, which I just don't understand. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I like, maybe I'm just old school who just likes to see who was the villain, who was the hero. The villain gets cheered, the villain gets booed and the hero gets cheered. Nowadays, everyone just sits back and just says, yeah, the heroes and such. Everyone should be the hero. And I'm like, no, man. Nah. I don't know. That's just my thing. That is definitely just, I don't know what is going on. I don't know. I just don't know what is the, this whole thing, because I don't know what is the true answer to this. I mean, I have ideas about it, and making sure people maybe like have the bad guys actually be more villainous. I mean, have villains actually act like villains instead of being sympathetic. Have the baby faces and the good guys or whatever in WWE to actually do good guy things, to actually be that type of a hero. That should be the main thing. They should be heroes. If they're actually acting like heroes and doing things like heroes, then they should be heroes. Because that's so hard. And it should not be that hard. And if your hero, if your villain is so much more sympathetic than your hero character, then you've written things wrong. I shudder to think if WWE had the, if they actually written off like a Batman movie and such, they would somehow make it that Batman is so incompetent and so stupid and such that the crowd by the middle of the movie, people would be rooting for the Joker, even though the Joker would probably be doing all the evil things he usually does, doing horrible, terrible things, and they will still root for him. Still root for the Joker. And even people who are fans of Batman be like saying, F it, Joker knows what the Joker probably has a whole plan up. And then have a Deus Ex not mocking or anything else to have Batman win. And the crowd just like, this is stupid, and just walk away. That right there would be, that's how W would do it. It's just they would make the character, the baby faces and the good guys so incompetent, so whiny, stupid. And how could I cheer them? Oh, they do a cool thing, I guess. But the villains are doing cool things too. So, and they're more badass and more, relatable and heck, in some cases, more sympathetic. Then why should I root for the villain? Why should I root for the hero? That's what it is. WWE does not know how to make their heroes into heroes. Heroes, likable and not just credible, actually likable, smart, and all that cool stuff. But it seems like they just switch off the writing, I don't know what they have to, I don't know how they can fix that. Personally, I think they need to get some people who know the wrestling business in there and such, and probably get rid of Vince McMahon as the head guy, because I don't know what, because sometimes I think Vince is the main problem. I believe Vince is the main problem of the whole thing, because again, he is so out of touch, and I keep saying this. Hell, I said it back when I first started YouTube. I mean, Vince McMahon should have left the storylines, should have left the writers' room back in 2006. That's what I believe. I think he, yeah, I should have. But then that's just my opinion. And that's one reason why I believe that the characters, the reason why the people who are there, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why the WWE is, the characters and everything else is so written so terribly, is how, babyfaces are acting so, idiotic. It's as, they just, and heck, but then again, I can't really go with NXT, because NXT, that's Triple H. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know why they're putting I'm like, putting Johnny Gargano in that spot that, have him kneeing, Ciampa's face and having him get knocked out. And heck, rumor has it that he might have injured his knee, which is hilarious and such. I'm like, dude, not only that, but actually, not only did you screw up this match, you had the match pretty much won, but you did another knee shot that basically not only did not, caught that move not only cost you the match, but also cost you like a month or two of your career, man. I'm like, dude, that is amazingly. And who set that up? That right there showed me, like, if that's the case, I just, you sit back and like, man, that is just dumb booking and such. And you shouldn't put your guys in there who can you set up in a place that actually could hurt them, actually hurt them. But that's just me. And I could be 100% wrong, and I want to hear your takes on that, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, phone number, as always, you want to check in. I got some guests here sitting there watching. And, remember, chat room is always on lock, so you can sit back and type in, good stuff, seeing everything else. But, remember, if you want to call in and talk to the show live, remember, the number is 605-562-0444. Once again, the number is 605-562-0444. And the call ID connecting me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll be right back right after this. We're going to be talking about Lucha Underground, ladies and gentlemen, and reviewing the latest episode of Lucha Underground, Last Man or Machine Standing. Who will win, Cage or Pentagon? We're right back after this. I'm going to take a little bit of music. Let's take a little, since I talked about Batman, how about Batman Music of Funk OC Remix from Stephen Kennedy. That was pretty nice. Let's play a little bit of that. And then we'll be right back right after this here live on TalkShoe.com. Thank you so much for listening here to me, Dukect. Right back right after this. Back live here on the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for joining me, Dukect. Man, what a show Lucha Underground had. Oh man, let's see. The Lucha Underground Championship being defended. We had a haunted house match. Well, and everything else in between. So let's get into it. Let's get into what happened on this week's Lucha Underground. First things first, we get a nice little segment and such with Melissa Santos in the dressing room, looking sad, reminding people of Phoenix. Then Dragon Azteca Jr. walked in and said, and they talked about Phoenix and says, Phoenix, she's missing some more every day, and then gave her half of a medallion on the necklace saying Phoenix will always be with her this way and such. But yeah, it's a nice thing, and just called him a great friend, and Dragon Azteca got friend zoned. But hey, he's like, he does, and he said right there, looked in the mirror and said, hey, it's showtime, even though he wasn't booked in the show at all. Anyway, first things first, we got the haunted house match. The Mac taking on Mil Muertes. And wow, I feel like Halloween came a bit early, but you know what, Lucha Underground, I'll allow it. Okay. Oh gosh. What? Well, let's see. Let's look at it. You had steel cage. You know, the ring was surrounded steel cage, foreign objects on it, and there was Halloween decorations and everything else. And before that, we had Katrina. After she announced the Mac and Mil Muertes, she said, "You forgot." Katrina was like, "Hey, you forgot to introduce me," and called her a bitch. And then she's like, Santos said no, and then Melissa, Katrina took it well as she smashed Melissa's face in the cage several times, and then knocked her down, and then smashed a product plant over her head. Nice. And then after that, we have match right said Melissa Santos was taken to a local medical facility as the match started. And also the match actually was pretty much just a Mil Muertes squash, but Mac got some decent shots in. But man, whoo boy, that man Mil just reminded people that he is the death. He is beyond. He is so powerful, including just spearing him into basically through the entire ring, like this, then just spearing through the cage, and just didn't even get to the cage, and such. He speared him through the cage, and not once but twice, but the cage didn't break, but he just slid through, and then after that, he picked up some tables and used the tables later on in the match. But then again, you have one of the most brutal thing is Mil picked up a knife, and then the Mil Muertes used the knife against Mac, and Mac was just busted all over, just blood all over the place. He was blood and just destroyed him. But then the Mac came back, put Mil to a table. Mac came back, put Mil to a table in the corner, but Mil came right back, put him to a table for a 2 count, and then but then you have Mil came back. Then after that, later on in the match, Mil was setting up for a table to put the flatliner to basically finish off Mac. But no, Mac came back with not 1, not 2, but 3 old stunners to put Mil Muertes down. Then then it looked like he was going to finally end it. But yet, then Mil came up on the table, just climbed up where the Mac was, and then just hit the flatliner from the top rope through the table for the uno, dos, tres. And then after the victory, you have Mil wanted Katrina to execute the lick of death, but she said with the microphone, no, and walked off. Then after that, Famous P was ringside and said, "Oh, thank you very much for all the calls and everything else for him to get better after the screws and everything else." His leg was saved after the guy who put him in a wheelchair, and he said and such was the next matches. But yeah, he said he's back, but he was going to announce so Melissa was gone, and he said, "Oh crap." He said the next one he's talking about is the person who put him through the wheelchair, which by the way, it was his own damn fault, because if Famous B didn't do the thing, if Famous B wasn't on that damn ring rope, he would have had, you know what? Jake Strong would be a trios champion by now if he wouldn't have been on that dang ring rope and costing the match. So that Famous B, that's on himself. Famous B said, "Oh crap," and then introduced the Savage Jake Strong, taking on the man from the Cosmos, Aerostar. The match was good but short. There was some stuff there. I wish there was a little bit more, but it was fine. But it just felt like a bit of a breather match. But then what we have for the main event, I think I'll say this match was pretty much filler, and actually will hopefully lead on to something even more. As Jake Strong comes in with the ankle lock, and and it just was going to and put the ankle lock on. Aerostar quickly tapped out, and then Jake Strong would not. He was going to snap Aerostar's ankle, but guess who came back to save him? That's right, Aerostar's BFF, Drago. With his nunchucks, came in swinging them he was like, nope, that's it. And yeah, I'm like, hey, Drago was like going to leave and I thought he was not going to come back and never see him again. But nope, guess what? A week later, Aerostar, he saves his boy Aerostar, and now the Super Friends have returned on Lucha Underground, and they're going to look like they're going to have a feud with Jake Strong, which is going to be very interesting. Then we get to backstage as the Worldwide Underground was celebrating, open up some wedding presents. You have the spa to Slamtown. Matching. Let's see. You have you said layout, but yet after that you had the big picture of Johnny opening up winning presents, opening him holding himself, and a framed picture of him holding the Lucha Underground Championship. And he's like, it was the most beautiful thing he has ever seen, but it reminds of how his championship was stolen at Ultimate Lucha Trace. But he said, no. Taya, he says, you're going to steal it back. And now, and then Taya basically said, they're supposed to enter Quoto, and Johnny will have a title shot the week after their wedding. He said, then Johnny's like, now, next week, he will take Tyler's hand in marriage, and next week, he will take the Lucha Underground Championship. Yep, he says, it's like, yeah, Slam Town. And they were training Slam Town Slander. But then, Benji, Mundo's agent, showed up, and Ricky Mundo wouldn't let him in. Benji said that he was worthless, and the dolls, told him, say, you shouldn't talk to Ricky like that. I don't think Benji heard the doll, or maybe it's all in Ricky's head, but who knows? This is Lucha Underground, so maybe. But yeah, who knows? But then again, the doll said, why don't you do the same thing what Ricky did to El Angelico? And then, Ricky basically stabbed him to death with a fountain pen. And the doll laughed maniacally, and then the split screen came back to Taya laughing while she opened a gift of matching headbands. That's nice. Anyway, we are now to our main event as Pentagon Dark will take on Brian Cage, the last man or last machine standing for the Lucha Underground Championship. I have Brian Cage winning. I really did. I thought Brian Cage was going to win and have the title for a while, but no, I'm surprised. I was really surprised. Because honestly, this match was really good. I mean, Cage showed that he is very powerful, but Pentagon Dark showed that he is the most. But Dark showed that even though he got beaten out, his mask got half ripped, bloodied, and everything else, and table shots, chair shots, cinder block shot. But yeah, it was a very violent match. In fact, the show started off very violently, and it ended pretty much very violently. As, Pentagon Dark and Brian Cage had good chemistry. Again, very good chemistry. As these two just basically went the entire, belt. Like, they just really, man, these two looked like they were going to kill each other. Not as bad as, say, Pentagon Jr. when he faced against, Sami Callihan back in Slammiversary, but I'll get to that when I do my review of it. But yeah, these two really went hammered with each other. But my goodness, it was bloody. It was bad blood and just broken bones. And by the way, Brian Cage finally got his arm broken by Pentagon with him just hitting the chair right against his arm. He says, no, now it is time to break him. But no, just finally broke his arm. And then he did the other one, not once but twice. And then Cage tried to get up and then just curb stomp on the cinder block that Cage brought in. Pentagon curb stomp Cage a curb stomp as a block to make sure that he retains the Lucha Underground Championship, and the last man looks like looks like Pentagon Dark is the last man standing, and he is still your Lucha Underground champion. This match was violent, fun, and pretty much whatever you think of a Lucha, with pretty much a last man standing match in the world of Lucha Underground. So I highly, they even have a chair shot to the head, which is, I wince at that. But at this point, it just seems that people like to see that nowadays. But yeah, overall, I still like the match, and I highly recommend it. This was a pretty good Lucha Underground episode. Recommended. I can't wait to see what next week is. Next week is Johnny Mundo getting married, and what other craziness that's going to set out for Lucha Underground next week. Who knows? And who knows what Pentagon's new challengers are going to face. As you know, he has Dragon Azteca at Ultima Lucha 4 if he makes it there. But what will be his next ring? Because now Pentagon probably has Johnny Mundo. And after that, what about Marty the Moth sitting there waiting in the wings? And well, what about Mil Muertes? Mil Muertes and Pentagon has some issues as well. So who knows what's going to be at Pentagon? Because when you're the champion, everyone, you have a bullseye on your back. And Pentagon doesn't have any allies, only the darkness. But who knows what type of allies the darkness has. Anyway, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching, and that's going to be on YouTube soon. YouTube.com/DukecT, and also on MedicExpression.com, and on Freaking Awesome Network, and on and on BitChute, and on other places as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for downloading the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much. Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.